Welcome, dear friends and followers of the BUILDAWAVE of BUILDAWAVE Sport Solutions. And I would warmly welcome the coach of NUK, Lauren Bertolacci. Good evening, Lauren.
Hi, guys. Hi.
Very happy to have you here today for the interview. I would like to start directly with main topic. So you won 2 titles in a row with NUK in the Swiss National League. Is that something you could have imagined or dreamed of when you started as a coach there?
Yeah, it's not quite 2 in a row. The COVID year is there, but what's available? Yeah, we've won. Look, my main answer is yes. It's what we were going for since I arrived. The first day that we met with the whole team in 2018. My main message to everyone is why not us? We have to be going for all the gold medals. We have the capabilities and we might not make it, but this is what we have to go for. And it really was a why not us message. So if you ask me if I could imagine it, then I say yes. But I also realistically know that it was very, very hard. It's not as simple as 2 titles. You know, in the first year, we were very clearly in the 4th place until the finals. We really found our way in February. And last year, it just felt like we were really strong in the right moments again. And so me, I attribute it to like a lot of good work, of course, some luck and good timing. And it means like, yeah, we've been able to take a lot of gold medals so far because of that.
What would you identify as the main reasons for the success now with NUK?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I of course, to give a lot of credit to the previous work of the club, like they set a lot of foundations. I think that when I arrived, that I could come in and I could make the right volleyball changes. They were in a good place, sort of with the budget and the infrastructure, and in general, the club is a really strong club. And so, yeah, I was able to come in and make a few changes that were pretty important and go from there. I think a really big thing for us is the philosophy of play that we have at NUK. When I was about to take over NUK, I was coaching in men's. I think maybe some people know, some people don't. So I did a big analysis of the women's league and of NUK in particular, and I saw some things that I thought would be really important and quite easy, not easy, but simple changes that I could make to the game that maybe would exploit the women's league pretty well. And yeah, I put those in place straight away, which is like really, if anyone watches us, I think it's not a surprise to know. It's like we are quite aggressive, have a focus on really scoring points and playing fast and just the general organization of the game.
Yeah, you mentioned it. In the previous season, there was very visible that NUK had a steep improvement in performance during the season towards the playoffs. This year, it's quite a bit different. I mean, your team is fairly dominant from the beginning on. What is the reason for that? Is it just the preparation for the Champions League qualification that started earlier, or are there other reasons?
Look, yeah, a lot of people are saying, you know, we've been really dominant in this first half, and it's hard for me to even see that because I'm looking game by game and there are so many things that we need to improve and to work on and where I want to be as a team come the finals. We are not that now, and I think that it's not enough where we are now. We need to be better to be able to arrive to win in the finals. So we always kind of have this focus of there's more to do and there's more to get better at, and we're constantly analyzing like that. But yeah, I think you make a good point. We had to be. It's been every year so far. We've been competing in the Super Cup every year. So every year at the beginning of the year, I aim that we are game ready, and that's quite difficult because the Super Cup's quite early. So, and this year we had the Super Cup and Champions League, and so from the beginning on day one, I wasn't there. Actually, I was with Canada, but the philosophy was like we're playing immediately because the Super Cup is not the biggest title. It's not the most prestigious, but it is a title and it is something we want to win. And so we go there to win and we take it very seriously. And we prepared like that. So that helps. I also would say that I do believe that this is the strongest NUK team that we've had since I've been here yet. I say that every year because every year it's true. We've improved the team a little bit, but I say it again now. We have some really nice additions that really, you know, are giving us some good offensive power. It's hard to find a weakness in our offense at the moment. And every year that the girls are staying here and they continue, they're getting better and better. So yeah, I'm pretty proud that we've been able to build a strong team again.
Maybe it's, as you said, it's a bit early, but would you make a prognosis already who will win the championship and who are second or third?
Yeah, look, like you're gonna ask me every year, even if one day I have a team that is not as strong as this team, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be Nuke because I'm always gonna bet on my team, and they need to believe that we can do it, and I need to believe that we can do it, and it always has to be the goal. It's just why not? For me, you can never quite understand why, if you have a team that is even remotely possibly close to having a chance to win the championship, why you're not reaching for the highest goal, because that is the way to get more out of the players and more out of yourself. The worst thing that can happen is we don't win it, and then we go back and we try again, and there's always another game, and there's always another year. And I think that, yeah, for me, I'm not afraid to say that it's our goal and we're going to try to win the championship. And if you ask me to put a bet down, which I can't do, but I would put it on. For the rest in general, the top 4 or 5, it's always going to be so close. I think now Shezza have put themselves into the race a little bit, which makes it really even more interesting with quite a strong team. But for me, the final series, no matter who's playing or for what place, it comes down to being healthy, because injuries can really, really crush you. And each team has, a few really key players that if they are out, they're hard to replace. So staying healthy and yeah, being ready in the key moments and just to take chances, it's what's going to happen. So I don't know a prognosis after that. It's going to be super close. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, clear enough. So maybe we'll talk at the end of the season once again.
Maybe.
If we change focus a bit on international games, especially Champions League, unfortunately, you missed the group phase. If you analyze this briefly, what would you say were the reasons for that in terms of technical issues or in volleyball issues? I mean.
Yep. I mean, ultimately, even though it's I don't know what the word I'm looking for. It's dreamy to say. Budget is important, and at this level, in the Champions League, the budgets are quite high. So we're competing against teams in, even Prometei, who we lost to in that last round. They have significantly more expensive players than us and a significantly higher budget. It's not that I don't believe we could win. Of course, I believe we could have, but that is always going to be a key. Money talks. It's not everything, but it is important to a point. And I think that, to take that step to be consistently in that higher level, the budget is important. Unless you have a spot given to you in your league, like for example, they're a Finnish team, they have a position given, they can go straight into the group phase and things like that, of course. Then it's of course just a little bit luck of the draw. Watching the other group, I think that not the other group, but the other half, maybe would have had some chances against them as well. So it's also the way that the draw goes. But honestly, for us, for Nuke, and it's not the first time we've qualified for Champions League, but it's the first time that we took the step into Champions League. And that was so important to do this first. We're not even at the phase of analyzing what happens next. Really, we are, but not too much, because the first thing was to take that step in, and it was a whole new world of things that we had to learn and do as a club. And we're very, very proud of like the adventure we took, and I hope we showed, a little bit to people in Switzerland that we can dream a little bit again. It's reachable by humans. You don't have to be a super magic, like very expensive volleyball club to arrive there. You can do it as a human. So yeah, I'm just really proud of the first step, but ultimately, yeah, the budget, it's something that's important. So
Now we change a bit to your personal perspective as a coach, and you have coached both men and women.
yes.
Could you briefly describe the difference between the two in coaching or training?
For sure. There's like, in general, volleyball is volleyball, and I find it to be, very similar in the work that I have to do on a day-to-day basis. But there are like 1 or 2, 3 maybe really big things that I notice that are different. One is that the women, they work harder. sorry to the guys, but like I spend a lot of my time with the guys, pushing them on just how to work, like, and be disciplined at the level that I needed to be at. And as soon as I came to Nuke, I said, okay, this is what we do, this is how we do it, and bam, they did it. And I haven't had to question yet the work ethic. Not that I'm not questioning the work ethic of the guys, but it's, they're, which leads into my next point. They sometimes cut the corners, they find a different way to do things, and which is also, though it's one thing that I say is a bit negative, it's also really positive, because I find that the men were a little bit more for lack of a better word, kamikaze. So if I want to play a different style of volleyball, I want to try different things, I want to do some stuff that seems a little bit crazy sometimes. And for the guys, it was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And for the girls, I have to answer 50 questions first and tell them step by step how to do it before they arrive to do that. So I think those are the two really big things, is how process orientated the women are. And the guys, they just go and do it, but they cut the corner a little bit, and so it's a bit of a balance like that. So in general, I think that the men's game is more innovative, which I find very important to me. I would really like to grow the game of volleyball. And if you look in the men's game, they're 5 to 10 years ahead in the things that they're doing. And I think that is because in women's volleyball, quite often coaches are overcoaching women and holding them back a little bit. And so a big part of what I'm trying to do at Nuke is, set the goals, set the work ethic, the culture, and all that kind of stuff, but also allow and try to push to grow the game and innovate the game themselves. And that's something I'm still working on and still trying to get going. And I think it's very important to me. But yeah, otherwise it's volleyball. It's so similar. I'm so glad I've worked in both. It's been so important for me to get those perspectives, and I think it's been really helpful.
You're told to be someone who, and now we learned it, or we heard it, you're told to be someone who makes very clear statements, who's very determined. I guess you wouldn't disagree with you, or would you? Could you describe yourself in 3 terms? Just give 3 terms that would describe you. Very brief. I know that's tough.
No, it's okay. I mean, I agree. You ask if I agree with you, and yeah, I agree. I'm pretty unwavering in my core beliefs. Not in the way that I do things. I'm really trying to grow really a lot, all the time, and change the way that I do things. But the core beliefs and the values they're very, very important to me. So I guess that one word would be that I'm very persistent. In terms of, if I know that something is important, then I'm not going to let it stop me, and I'm going to keep working. I don't know the other words. I'm sorry, I don't know. It's hard for me. I think of myself as so many different things, but ultimately, I agree. I agree with what you said. I think that I am not stubborn. I'm not stubborn like people think maybe I'm stubborn. I'm just I really know what's important to me and my values as a coach, and I want to stick to them at all times.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't have the 3 words.
So time is flying, and I guess we get to the final questions. I give you 2 terms, and then you have to decide between the 2 of them.
Okay.
Meat eater or vegetarian?
I'm not a vegetarian, but I will choose vegetarian very often. No, I'm not a big meat eater. Yeah.
Motorcycle or convertible?
Motorcycles scare me too much, and convertibles are too cold. So I don't know. You're going to give me to choose one. No, convertible.
Spain or Italy?
My Italian ancestors would probably hate me, but I lived in Spain for a few years, and I really love the country. So I'd probably say Spain. Yeah.
Luxury hotel or camping?
Hands down, luxury hotel. I don't want to be outside. Yes.
No camper.
Okay. No. Not for me. Yep.
iOS or Android?
Everything iOS.
Okay. Nerd or cool type?
Definitely nerd. Big nerd.
Neat or chaotic?
Very, very neat.
I expected that. In a McDonald's or Burger King?
Oof, I don't eat either much, but I would say Burger King in Switzerland.
Okay. Techno or hard rock?
Ew. None. None of the above. Yes.
What then if I may ask?
I'm not a big music person, so I just listen to popular music if it's on, but I'm not a really big music person. Yeah.
Okay. And last question, setter or diagonal?
Setter. That was my position, and yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, that was it. I have one final question. With which club or national team will we see you in the future?
Nuke and Team Canada.
Perfect answer. Short and perfect answer at the end. Lauren, thank you very much for having
Thank you.
been with us. It was a great pleasure to talk to you. We wish you good luck for the upcoming games, especially for the game on Wednesday in the CFL Cup.
Yes.
And we see you. Hopefully, we'll see you for a longer time again on the line of Nuke or any other team. Thank you.
Thank you.